you're going to preheat your oven. Mine is a fan oven. So I've got it to fan, and I'm going to turn it over to 180. I am going to now put the baking sheet in the oven. Ooh. Right, before we go any further, even though this is a non-stick flan dish, I'm still going to grease it just in case the pastry sticks to it. I've got some butter here, so I'm just going to cut a little slither of butter, place it in the tray. And then I've got some kitchen roll. I've just folded it up, and I'm going to use that to grease my flan dish. So, pastry. Rolling out your pastry, I didn't mention this at the start, you need a rolling pin. I'm going to use my scissors to open up my pastry. Now, I've got a square block of pastry, but I've got a round flan tin. So we need to roll out our pastry carefully so that it's even all the way through. We don't want fat bits of pastry and then it going thinner. It needs to be even so that it bakes evenly. So, and we also need to try and shape it so it's going to fit our tin, which is round. So what you're going to do is keep moving your pastry. So roll it out a little and then turn it. And then roll it again and keep shifting and turning it. And as you go, just if you run your hand over the top, you'll be able to feel where there are thinner and thicker bits, and you can also just lift it and have a look. Tin and place it over the top and see whether I think it's going to fit in. Just a light, maybe put some in your hand, and really just a light sprinkling on your pastry, and the rest can go on your pin. You're going to go from one edge and gently lift up, and without pushing this time, you're not going to apply any pressure to your pastry. Just roll up your pastry to get it out of the way, and also it's going to help you to position it into your quiche tin. Lift the pastry, and with your finger you're going to tuck it, gently push it into the edges of your dish, okay? So when you do this, the edge of the pastry needs to be slightly higher than the edge of your tin, because when the pastry cooks it's going to shrink. And if we cut it too close, it's going to shrink lower than the top of your tin, and it might mean that you won't fit all of your filling in. Ooh, keep your excess pastry for the moment, and that will be used if you need to patch up any bits once it's blind baked. And lightly prick the base of your quiche with a fork. You're going to put this in the fridge for 10 minutes, and when that's in the fridge, we can start preparing some of the other ingredients for the filling. I've got bacon rashers as opposed to lardons. The reason I've gone with bacon rashers is because I want to make this a less fatty dish. Lardons often have quite a lot of fat on them. I'm gonna cut the fat off these rashers. Okay, I've taken my pastry case out of the fridge. It's been chilling for about 10 minutes. I'm going to take a bit of kitchen foil that will cover the bottom of the pastry tin. And then if you've got baking beads, you can use baking beads. They're made out of ceramic. If you don't, you can use some dried beans or pulses. I'm going to use rice. You're going to cover with a layer the bottom of your pastry case. This is just to weigh it down. What we're doing here is called blind baking. Okay, so we want this to partially cook. We want the pastry to partially cook, so that when we put the filling on it, it's already partially cooked, and the pastry will stay crisp when it finally comes out of the oven. If we didn't blind bake and we put the filling straight into the raw pastry, it's more than likely that you would end up with a soggy bottom. So this is a way to avoid a soggy bottom with pastries and quiches.